morning, ma'am and class. My name is Thomas van Wyk and I'll be giving an introductory lesson to trigonometry.
Now, before we begin, just have to make it clear that, at least for the basics, we have to use a right angle triangle when working with trigonometry. So when working with triangles, we always have three sides named the hypotenuse, the opposite side, and the adjacent side. Here is our triangle with our 90-degree angle here, and our angle named theta here. Our hypotenuse side is always the side which is opposite the 90-degree angle. Our opposite side is always the side which is opposite our angle theta, and our adjacent side is always the side which is touching the angle theta and the 90-degree angle. When working with trigonometry, we have three functions named sine, cos, and tan. Now, when using a calculator, we enter either sine, cos, or tan, and then the angle of theta, which in this case is going to be 45 degrees. Now, the answer for sine will always be the same as the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. For cos, it will always be the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. And for tan, it will always be the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. If you struggle to remember the formulas for sine, cos, and tan, there's a saying that helps us remember it called SO katoa. So means sine, which is the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Ka means cos, which is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. And toa means tan, which is the opposite side over the adjacent side. Now, if you struggle to even remember this, there's a funny saying which goes, some old hags can't actually hide their old ages, which will help you remember SO katoa. In our first example, we have angle of theta, which is 42 degrees, the opposite side, which is 12 centimeters, and the hypotenuse, which is x. So for this example, we are going to use the sine formula because we have the opposite side and we want to work out the hypotenuse. So we write down sine is equal to opposite side over hypotenuse. Now the next step, we add in the numbers and the variables. So then we'll write down sine 42 is equal to 12 over x. Now the third step, you can see I calculated sine 42 in my calculator, rounded it off to one decimal place. Now when calculating the rest of this question in your calculator, do not use the rounded off number. It will change your answer completely. So anyways, the next step will be to write down 0,7 is equal to 12 over x. Now, in the next step, we want to split the variables and the numbers, which will give us 12 divided by 0,7 is equal to x, which will give us a final answer of x is equal to 17,9 centimeters. For the next two examples, I'll be moving a lot quicker now. So the first step is to write down the formula, which is cos is equal to adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Next step is to add in the numbers and the variables, which will be cos 35 is equal to y over 19. Next step is to calculate cos 35, which will be 0,8 is equal to y over 19. Next step is to split the variables and the numbers, which will be 0,8 times 19 is equal to y, which will give us a final answer of y equals 15,6. Here is going to be our final example. So our first step is to write down the formula, which is going to be tan is equal to opposite side over adjacent side. Next step is to add in the numbers and the variables, which will be tan 58 is equal to z over 8. Next step is to calculate tan 58, which will be 1,6 is equal to z over 8. The next step will be to split the variables and the numbers, which will be 1,6 times 8 is equal to z, which gives an answer of z equals 12,8.
Thank you for listening, and I hope this video helps you to understand the basics of trigonometry.